I'm almost ready to pick back up in Luke 17 where I stopped. But first I need to put one more line from Matthew and Mark. Behold, I have told you before. Mark, but take you heed. Behold, I have foretold you all things. That is more clear. I'm telling you now about the future. Versus I've told you before, it's as if he's saying, I've already told you. As if Jesus is repeating himself now. Mark first, but take you heed. Behold is both. Matthew says, I have told. Mark, I have foretold. You all things. Matthew told you before. I'm going to leave off the before for Matthew. You is both. All things is only Mark. Matthew continues, wherefore if they shall say to you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as lightning comes out of the east and shines even unto the west. I need that as well, before I say from Luke, for as lightning lightens out of one part of heaven and shines on the other part. So Mark, but in those days shall tribulation, the sun be darkened. So those are the signs that pick up later. You're going to have to continue with Matthew. Wherefore, if they shall say to you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Then, for as lightning comes out of the east. This next part's not in Mark. And I don't think it's in Luke 21 either. So just Matthew 24 and Luke 17. Matthew reads, for as the lightning comes out of the east and shines even to the west. Luke 17, for as the lightning that lightens, not comes, but that lightens, out of thee is both one part under heaven, shines to the other part of heaven. Matthew says east to west, Luke says one part to the other. I think east to west is more descriptive, but one to the other is more inclusive. I'm going to go with east to west. I've heard an explanation that Jesus is often described as coming from the east. Israeli or Hebrew culture orientation is east. Like the temple and the tabernacle, it's always facing east. So east to west seems more important than just one part to the other. For as the lightning, that's both. That lightens or that comes? I think I'm going to have that comes. Out of thee, that's both. Matthew, east versus one part under heaven. Should I have east under heaven? Maybe I can leave part from Luke and have out of the east part under heaven. Shines to the west part under heaven. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll just leave out one. Exchange that for Matthew, east. East part under heaven. And shines even to the west. Shines is both. To thee is both. And instead of other, I'm going to exchange that for west. Part under heaven. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. so shall also the Son of Man be in his day. So shall also the is both Matthew coming of and the Son of Man. Son of Man be. Those are both. And in his day is added in Luke. Now, there's a verse here in Matthew that comes next. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Then he goes into immediately after the tribulation in those days shall the sun be darkened. So first it's saying false Christs and prophets are supposedly here and there. They're going to be said they're everywhere. But I'm going to be as from the east to the west. Then, after the tribulation will be signs. So it's kind of random to say here, wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. It doesn't really make any sense. However, in Luke 17, that verse is also here, but it's way later. It's after the mention of Noah, after the mention of Lot, after the rapture is mentioned, one shall be taken, the other left. They asked him, the disciples, they answered and said to him, where, Lord? And his last statement in Luke 17 of this topic, wheresoever the body is, there will the eagles be gathered together. That makes a bit more sense, because it comes right after he's mentioning the fact that one's taken, the other's left. They're like, where? Where is one being taken? Or where is this going to happen? Wherever the body is. And I think that makes a bit more sense than saying the carcass. Because the body is a common way of explaining the church or the believers. The body of Christ. Right? The bride. Where you're saying the carcass, I don't truly get what that means. I have heard that that's where the eagles will be gathered together. Should be translated, that's where the vultures will be gathered together. But it makes more sense with carcass. Vultures are going to eat the dead remains. It doesn't really seem to follow with what Jesus is foretelling of, whether that has to do with the rapture here in Luke or Jesus' return. I just don't see how that makes sense. The carcass and the vultures. But the body and the eagles makes perfect sense. That verse here from Matthew, and I'm going to save that for when I mix it with Luke 17. Since the time of that last recording, my understanding of this passage has grown. I'm still convinced that the verse from Luke 17:37, wheresoever the body is, there will the eagles be gathered together, should be combined with Matthew 24:28. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. But the use of the word carcass completely changes my understanding of this statement. The carcass, the dead body, that's where the eagles be gathered together. Eagles, or like I was saying earlier, eagles could be translated vultures. There's even a note in Luke 17:37. Eagles is underlined and explained as eagles or vultures. It does mean vultures because they're going to be eating this body. They're going to be eating this carcass, this dead body. Taken in context with the entirety of the Olivet Discourse, and since the Olivet Discourse is a large response Jesus gave to the disciples asking what would be the signs of the end of the age or the end of the world, this is probably another statement about the fact that there will be signs. Vultures are a sign that somewhere there's a carcass, there's a dead body. When you see vultures flying around, you know the cause is a dead body somewhere, a carcass. Likewise, all these other signs that Jesus is giving, earthquakes, famines, pestilences, wars, and rumors of wars, they're all effects of the cause, which is the end coming near. My earlier understanding was from the context in Luke 17. 2 will be in one bed, one shall be taken, the other left. 2 will be grinding at the mill together, the one shall be taken, the other left. 2 shall be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. That's the rapture. So then reading this statement from Jesus, wheresoever the body is, there will the eagles be gathered together. I read that as the body of Christ. The Christians, the believers in Jesus, will be saved, will be taken out. Like in Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. The wings of eagles, that's like God is assisting them. He's doing a miracle through them. So these eagles gathering wherever the body is, that could again be the rapture. They're being saved. That miracle is happening to the Christians. But I think it more fits with the broader implication of the entire Olivet Discourse. It's a sign. These eagles, these vultures, they are a sign of a body. Not just the body of Christ, a dead body. This is Jesus saying, signs will accompany the end times. I don't actually think this statement is him saying, wherever Christians are, they will be saved. No, now I more think it's Jesus summarizing the entire speech. Watch for the signs. That will be a warning of the end. I still think, though, that the combination of these two verses should be where Luke has it. Not chapters earlier in Luke 17, but that this section of Luke 17 should still be combined with Matthew 24 at the Olivet Discourse. And this verse from Matthew 24 should be moved to the end of this statement, as it has in Luke 17. So I'm still not going to put Matthew 24:28 here. I just have a better understanding of this verse, and the reason is not because I don't get why it's in Matthew 24, but because this answer is given to a question the disciples ask. Where? Jesus said, watch for the signs. So since I'm not having that next verse from Matthew 24, and the verse after that will follow up with the signs from Mark and Luke, after, so shall also the Son of Man be in his day, this next verse from Luke 17, verse 25, but first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. That does fit here, so I'll finish up with that, and then move on to more signs in the stars. But first must he suffer many things and be rejected of this generation. So now this entire section reads, but take you heed, behold, I have foretold you all things. Wherefore, if they shall say to you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning that comes out of the east part under heaven, and shines even to the west part under heaven, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be in his day. But first he must suffer many things and be rejected of this generation.